seem to shake you, baby. I can't seem to shake you, baby. All I do is dream about you, baby. All I do is dream about you. Remember when you loved me? I loved you and then you left me alone. You know I'd always come back home. We can't pretend that this is the end, baby. All I do is dream about you. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I swear tomorrow that I'll give you up. Save the sorrow for when we wake up. But for tonight it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I can't seem to shake you, baby. I swear tomorrow that I'll give you up. And I will save the sorrow for when we wake up. But for tonight it seems I'm tangled up in you, tangled up in you, tangled up in you, tangled up
That's right, and we're back. We're live back in Chicano Street Studios. The San Valentin edition. Do me a favor, hit that like. You know what? It started off the right way, cabrones. It's a pinche holiday, ¿verdad? A lot of you cabrones already got the ramo buchon. Some of you guys are ballers, huh? Some of you guys, you buy the ramos and they cost as much as a rent payment, ¿verdad? Feliz Dia de San Valentin, all the raza that's out there, man. We're going to go ahead and do this live at this hour right now, okay? So everyone that taps in, probably about midday live. But if you're listening on the replay, you could do the same thing. You could always hit that like button. Gracias, all the day oneers. Everyone inside the members only, the backbone of the community. They know who they are. They got the double up last Friday. I appreciate them. And we might have a fight announcement real soon, man. I got two guys I want to throw chingazos. That might be coming up real soon. The Chicano channels, the Chicano pages, Open Talk. Open Talk is alive. If you're new to the channel, the veteranos, they already know. Open Talk is all topics. So nothing is off the table. Let's go ahead and talk about it, bring it up on IG, bring up some slides. I already got some things loaded, a couple clips on basically things that, like I said, this is what we do on Chicano Street, right? We're going to talk about things that is going to affect me and it's going to affect you, okay? Every channel is different. This is what we do here. First off, that's what we do. So let's just set the groundwork down, right? Oh, and another thing I want to do is let's play back some of those town hall clips. I want to give a shout out to you guys because you guys are the pinchy MVPs, man. No, the chat was the MVP right there. Everyone, all the viewers that tuned into the town hall. Man, I was humbled when we almost had 500 in the building. 500 in the building. And I understand why, cabrones. I absolutely understand why. That shit affects me and you. Whether you want to talk about it or not, or Mikey, talk about this, Mikey, talk about that. Okay, we'll get into all of it. We don't duck and dodge and none of that. We'll get into all of it. But primarily, that's what we speak about here. Another thing is a central part of our message here on Chicano Street is unity de raza. Unity de raza. My work that this very May of 2025, cabrones, is going to be 10 years now volunteering to go inside the correctional facilities to the youngsters. Cálmase. Make it sound all deep and shit. Going over here to the halls and the camps in Monterey County. It's going to be 10 years. It was like a little small grain of sand. It really is a little bit, even though the 6, 7, 8 youngsters in these last 10 years that I've seen on the outs that now are, some of them are fathers, business owners. They made it. They listened. They got a taste of it. Knew it was nothing to be proud of. Listened and kept it moving in the positive direction. So that's going to be 10 years this pinche May, man. So anyways, that's what we talk about. That's what we do here. Again, unity of the raza when it pertains to that. And that's primarily, of course, I'm talking about a California thing. It's a hard message when I talk to the youngsters in Salinas. So I do got to keep it real. You know, most of the time I'm bullshitting with them, right? Hey, this and that or whatever. But because that's a hard message. But when I talk to other youngsters and other groups and stuff like that, then they absorb it a little bit more easier. And I understand it and I get it, man. Maybe we'll talk about that tonight. We need to talk about at-risk youth, cabrones. All right, hit that like. Everyone that's in the chat, I already see you guys. I appreciate you guys. Oak Park, Sakura's been in the casa, man. I appreciate you. Everyone that's in the chat, we're going to get to any kind of chat questions, chat comments as we keep it going. One thing that came across my feed, let's just go ahead and get into it, cabron. The Super Bowl. We didn't even talk about the pinchy Super Bowl. Just one thing I wanted to mention about that Super Bowl. Not that it's, we could just, it's cotorreo. It's internet, pedo, really, at the end of the day. But a lot of people were going after the tennis player. The tennis player decided to put some Chucks on, put some Chuck Taylors on, and she decided to get out there and do her thing. And it came all the criticism after that. Again, if you look at that thing from, hey, this is a woman, you know, que está casada con un multi-millionaire kind of, he looks like a kind of, he does look like a nerd, I'll tell you that. He looks like a nerd. Why go back to the hood, put on some Chuck Taylors? Again, this is just on the outside looking in, you know, some constructive criticism. Why go back to the hood, put on some Chuck Taylors and dance Crip Walk, let's keep it a buck, Crip Walk, in front of the most seen television show of the year? That's what they were saying, knowing there's a little bit of a back history there, knowing ese güey está aventando chingazos with another guy, Drake, and they had a relationship at one point together. So I just said, what a bad look. Ya eres millonaria. Ya tienes todo el dinero en el banco, but to come back and it, I didn't get that. I really, really didn't get that. Another thing I didn't like, might as well just keep going on the pinchy Super Bowl. It's already been a week and a half. A week or a week? I don't know. What? You couldn't pay me enough to put on some bell bottoms. I don't give a shit. You know? That reminds me of that. Remember on the movie The Outsiders? It's who's talking with the Sosha inside the burger joint? Someone in the movie The Outsiders, he was talking with the Sosha inside the burger joint, right? And Soda Pop was outside, right? And he was with another pinche greaser cabron. which actually greaser, that's a derogatory term. Don't twist that up, okay? They didn't tell them that because their hair was greased up. Es que they put that label on people porque la gente se parecía, whoever was saying it, to them, like que eran cochinos, but maybe we can get into that. I don't know. And he told them, you boys waiting for a flood? Whack 100, the general of the Africanos on the YouTube Yardas in the house. That's right. K-Dog made Drake cry. It's so crazy right now, bro. There's videos of everything, man. That show that you got, Exposers, it just goes to show that there is a lane for that. I know someone can talk shit. Well, all they do is talk about people. I've said it. I'm guilty of it, right? All they do is talk about people. Well, why I wouldn't want to do that is because I would like to show my face in public. I would like to still be out in the community and be with the people. And that's not going to be with me starting a fire every day, right? It is what it is. But there is a lane for that, like you got, cabron. You come out with one, it's one pendejo every week or something. I don't know. Again, I don't know the whole story. So you're coming up with the shows. I know you just got writers, producers. You got some overhead. You probably got a budget studio, and you're doing it right. I'm sure you're doing it right, cabron. You couldn't pay me enough to put on some bell bottoms. You just like you couldn't pay me enough to do certain shit like on the screen on TV. I know some people were like, man, but Mikey, no, man, forget about it. You know, there's just some things that money, no, it's not gonna get you that. It's not, man. That's right, boy Aguilar. That's right, man. We got Colorado stepping in the building. They're deep too. Mile High Hustle, LA County's checking in. That's right. Sanjo Lifer. I just seen that they're gonna do the Mexica Festival. I think it's gonna be right there at Emma Prusk, carnal. I think it's March 14th to the 16th. Follow, you probably already do, cabron, the United Lowrider Council. Follow that one. And I think it's the San Jose chapter. Because they're the ones that are always involved when they rent out the fairgrounds way right there, the show in San Jose. All right, let's get back to it, man. All right, let's move on past the Super Bowl. Put past the Super Bowl. All right. She chose the team West Coast. I respect it. It looked a little bit off, man. It's kind of like someone coming from something she had left, right? She had left. She's done interviews, cabron. Grew up in Compton. Had a close no. Was it an hermanita of hers? Someone passed away let's find it. No, let's not. I'm gonna put it on blast. Someone passed away at a shooting and got hit with a balazo, and I think it was at the tennis courts, and I think it was in Compton. Does anyone know? Someone can I can look it up, man. We just open up another browser, you know. Let's see what it comes out with. Oh, damn. My gut was right. And I hope it wasn't. Serio, I hope my gut wasn't right. Man. Let's go. I'm going to try to put it a little bit bigger, man. Sorry, I'm going to take these comments off the screen. I really wish, that my memory was wrong on this, but Yetunde Price, the older half sister of tennis star Venus and Serena Williams, damn, was murdered in a drive-by shooting in Compton, California on September 14th. That's like the Independencia of 2003. Okay. Details. Price was 31 years old. Oh, man. And had 3 children. Damn. She was riding in an SUV. Gente, you can read it right here, right? You guys can see it, right? Yeah, it's big. She was riding in an SUV with her boyfriend, Roland Warmly, when she was unalived. The shooting occurred near a suspected Casa de Droga in Compton. Warmly drove Price to his mother's house where she called 911. So there was no cell phone. Probably in the car, there was no cell phone because you wouldn't hesitate to call 911 immediately. Like in that case with Lake and Riley. Did you know that the pinches, el reloj dialed 911 while that piece of shit for 18 minutes was unaliving and abusing her? 18 minutes. She whispered in a very low, faint, Llama 911. I'm not going to say it because all my shit is linked up to my voice. Llama 9. No. I'm sorry. No, Llama 911. What the fuck? She said, Por favor, ayúdame. Please help. I'm trying to say it low because maybe these things are like sensors. See? Look at it. It's already, my phone is already, look, my watch in real pinchy time, gente. Just know that this is a safety device, especially for our daughters, man. My boys, I mean, I would worry. I'm a man, right? I'm going to think like a man, not like a mujer, ¿verdad? I'm going to, my boys, I'm going to worry less about. My daughters, that's the one that I'm going to worry about. So she said that, and the phone picked it up and dialed. But then the information came out, 18 minutes of life is all she had left. Unfortunately, rest in peace. Price was pronounced unalived at the nearby hospital. Reaction of the hell do I want to read reactions of that's just fluff. You know what I mean? Well, let's just read it then. Serena said that she and Yetunde were very close and that Yetunde changed her zapetas. Serena said that she felt it was important to tell Robert Maxfield how unfair La muerte de Price had been to their family. She's visibly upset. Serena said that she finally came to an acceptance of things. Yeah. I really hope I wasn't right on that one, but that did pass. So that, of course, we have nothing to say about that. You don't know that to be true, cabron, or else just post the link. Post the link, and we could even open it up right now on the live. Or if you're saying word on the calles, that's another thing, right? Word on the calles, because when you write shit out, it's kind of like, plus everything is in writing, right? When you write shit out, just know how someone will read it. It's tone deaf. When you just write some shit on the internet, it's tone deaf. People don't know how to read it, cabron. So the way you wrote it is kind of like a presumption of a fact, But if we're on the internet just saying shit, word on the curb says this or word on the curb says that. There's so many cold cases, man. I mean, they got boxes and boxes of cold cases. The only way they can get the resources to really go back and dig up some cold cases is to get more in the budget for spending. You got to pay more detectives, pay more investigators. Right now, the way spending is going is crazy. The latest report, this is crazy, man. It's crazy. We'll bring it up right now. Here it is. IG. Trip out on this, man. You're going to trip out. Let me see. Boom. Again, Mikey L. Appreciate the comment, cabron. But ya sabes, way. Check this out, gente. I have been saying that we could spend the next años, just complaining, not getting ahead, not hustling. That kind of person you don't want to be around. You know what I mean? Something's always falling apart, never catch a break, and can't do shit. And this person is esto or what? It just passing time by like that. And it's crazy when they start finding out, though. You got to give credit where credit is due because no one is doing this. But when they start finding out this kind of shit right here, this is our money, bro. The recent, I think it broke this morning. I forgot which media outlet broke it this morning. But they found that since 2019, the federal government, 2019, it started at the transition of power. Okay, and I want to clarify that too. highlighting just that administration, 40% was the average over budget spending. That 100% is not sustainable, and that required some crazy drastic measures, however people want to interpret them, right? Right now, it's just been a lot of fear. Oh, they're going to get rid of Social Security. Oh, and they're kicking doors in, and other things have been said. And I say that respectfully, right? I'm joking around. I say that respectfully to whoever has those views. I don't have those views. DOG, which is the Department Office of Government Efficiency, has uncovered 1 point, and you can fact check this. Again, fact check it. Has uncovered 1.3 billion paid to deceased people for their benefits. The checks were cashed. And we have people angry that Musk is uncovering fraud with our money. No, well, that one makes sense, right? This is just a chunk of what the government does with our money. Let's be clear. It's our money. Why do you have a horse in this race? Because Mikey, I don't give a shit about that. You pay taxes? Do you pay taxes? This affects you, cabron. If they ran an audit on how much imagine they don't have the manpower or a system, that'd be crazy, but they run an audit and they find out how this mismanagement of money has been directly affecting each American family. They're always talking about transparency. They're always talking about freedom. Why not do that too? Well, they got to free up the money to do that. But that was crazy. I wanted to bring that up because you will see people aiming their energy, I guess is a way to put it, aiming their energy at other shit while shit's getting done, right? While shit's getting done. All right, but anyways, let's keep pushing. And we got a Sanho reunion. That's what's up. Mikey L says, they said there was 150-year-olds collecting Social Security. Again, not them, cabron. The whole point is, who's getting this money, man? Who's getting this money? We know who it is. It's the ones that have little salaries, 150, 250. I don't mean little. I mean, their salaries, 150, 250,000 a year salaries, but end up leaving office richer than hell. I mean, they started out with a nice little condo. You know what I mean? Remodeled condo. Hey, starting off, but and you might, I don't even know if you own it or, you might even be renting it. And next thing you know, you leave with mansions and mansions. I think we need to have a serious conversation about term limits. I don't think Dianne Feinstein passing away at 90-something years old and never stepping down from office, I don't think we should allow that. I think they should put more oversight on how much special interests, lobbying, and how about they launch an investigation on insider trading? I think that would be interesting to find out the results, but it is what it is.
Now you home with us and defend the barrio. Patos locos forever. Forever.
That's right, cabron. No, I did see a funny TikTok that dude put on. He put on a blonde wig and the big old clown shoes and showing the midriff and all that, doing the same thing. I just said it kind of looks, in her position, it kind of look a little tacky, man. Just a little bit. And there ain't no disrespect or whatever. I mean, first off, you got a singer that's wearing bell bottoms. Okay, so back up off me. Okay, back up off me. If the singer's wearing bell bottoms, then yeah, it could be a fucking fruitcake show. I don't know. Kiki's in the casa. That's right, my boy Kike. What are your thoughts on Doge shutting down or cutting government programs? And Tesla just got approved for $39 million grant from the government. I didn't hear about that, but here's the whole thing. This is really the screaming is about, right? The screaming is about, well, why build a whole other department? We're already out of money. We're already out of budget. We don't have the funds. Absolutely not. We can't build a department. But why? They got the memo that this department is going to focus and specialize in auditing your nalgas. Oh, but you wanted to hire 87,000 more agents to audit the people, us. Can anyone say selective politicking? That's exactly what it is. So the rules are for thee, but not for me. And this cut now, the create a power move. This is a crazy move. To the average person, doesn't know shit, right? Just no, I don't want to say doesn't know shit, but doesn't care maybe to know. Let's say doesn't care to know. They wouldn't understand that the Department of Education is a bunch of desk riding people. They just ride the desk. So there's just riding the desk all day long, getting paid. I don't know, they're throwing paper airplanes. Hey, making those little gliders. Remember, you got to put the little, remember, you got to tuck the wings and shit in order to, and then once it catches sail, there are a bunch of desk riders that had hundreds of millions of dollars in payroll, cabrones. We're paying for this. No one's screaming about that because what they want to do is gaslight, put a little bit of propaganda money into memes so we could regurgitate. And then they look at us. Oh, yeah, we got them divided. Oh, yeah, we got them divided. I'll tell you what's not divided. The country, because they decided to vote in a certain direction, absolutely unequivocally. So that's not divided. Let's not start that narrative. But again, the memes, and you understand what I'm saying, man. It's the memes. Let's play some of these town hall clips. There was a clip where the homie hangout, Raskeezy, shout out to Raskeezy, he said, he basically gave the formula on how to get the mob to turn on just one person. That was crazy, man. I feel like bringing that clip up. I'm going to bring it up right now. I could take calls, cabron. Why not? I didn't put it in the banner. All right, let's take calls. Let me see. I forget the number, cabron. Let me just, I'll take off the banner. And anytime you guys want to call, you can call in. Why not? It's open. I'm only going to put it in the beginning and in the end of the banner, okay? Let me see. What's that phone number? There's business lines. There's this lines. There's... Cabrones.
Thinking of letting him in, ese?
Told you he's my best crime partner.
He ain't Mexican, ese?
I'm going to let Big Happy tell you what the business is right there. Big Happy is on the YouTube Yarda. 100% facts. Undeniable. Hold on before you call, cabron. I got to put on Bluetooth. Put on Bluetooth. Hold on. No, pues está cabrón, man. All right. I think we're good. Even though it says my watch is hooked up. Let me see if I could disconnect my watch. Yeah, the watch might mess it up, huh? Shit. Well, we could try a call anyways. All right. What were we talking about? Oh, Raskeezy, we're talking about the mob. The last town hall. Yeah, I'll play a town hall clip. But yeah, we could take phone calls all day long, man. Anything you guys want to call in, ask about, go ahead, and the phone number is open, 831-240-4328. 831-240-4328. There it is. It's on the banner. All right, let's keep it pushing. Let's go to Insta. let's go to the Instagram. All right. And get your reaction to some of these right here. Let me see. It's crazy. It said 1.3 million accounts reached, but it says that on my phone. That was crazy. All right. Let me see. I'll share it. Good about the Rascal. Actually, Rascal was the one that I got the most feedback from. I'm going to keep it a buck with the gente. I always do. He's the one I got the most feedback from. I'm not saying positive, negative feedback. All in general. That means, like Norby's was the one that most people requested. They wanted Norby's to jump on the panel this time. Bring Norby's. Pinche Norby's. He's popular, ese cabrón. But Rascal was the one that I got the most feedback on. And I'm thinking of asking him if he wants a permanent seat. I'm thinking of asking him, that way, again, permitting schedules, permitting, family permitting, work, or etc., life permitting. But I appreciate his intellect. All right, let's see which one was it. How to turn the mob on someone. Let me see. Not that one. Who should be deported? Whew, I know this will stir some shit up. Okay. Just trying to see which one was the one. Protesting for clout. We just play all of them, huh? Let me see. Which one was it? Easy, man. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I could just go like this, huh? Duh, pendejo. All right, border, Mexicans. Oh, no, wrong way. All right. Give me a second, Anthony. My bad. All right. All right. I think this is the one. Let's see what Raskizi said on this one. This is a pretty popular one. Hold on. I got to reset it. There it is.
Dialogue centers around emotion. It's not what you think. It's not what you know. It's how you feel. So if I feel a certain way, I'm going to look for language to communicate that. And I want other people to agree with me. And with all this identity politics and all my camp versus your camp, if I can convince my camp that you're not arguing with me, you're arguing with us, even though you're only talking to me, right? But I don't like how you're talking to me. Rather than me deal with that, if I can say he's arguing with us, I get to rile all these other people up, and now I'm not so alone. And it's easy to do that if I can say it's hate speech, right? That's
damn it. Easy to do that. You want to turn the mob on someone? Hey, ese güey es racista. Put a label on the can. Boom. And that's some of the easiest thing that I think now more common sense is kicking in, where we should kind of be like, okay, says you, but what's the situation here? Common sense will make us think that instead of seeing it on a meme, seeing it that it's cool, and then just following along,
1111th Street, Ranker.
Beanies in the casa. That's right. That's a day oneer right there. Day zero. That's right, cabrón. Mi Chicano hermano Beanies in the house. Day oneer since, remember the first naming of the channel before rebranding it to Chicano Tube. It's 2025. It's a different year. Gente, I know a lot of people want me to talk shit and go in on this guy, go in on that guy, but we ain't bringing in that shit. If something is deserving of a video, we'll put a video out. Because, again, we don't duck and dodge anything. No one's blocked or none of that. So we're just not going to carry that shit all the way through it. We ain't going to go backward. You know what I mean? Just, my name's Bennett. I ain't in it, cabrones.
Chain snatching, jive ass, monochrome motherfuckers.
Maybe you could give them a list of that's right, cabron. Sanjo Lifer says facts. That's right. All right, let's keep it pushing. I had brought up earlier in the week also that Cholo Juan, I wanted to mention this to the people, see what the people think. We'll give it up to the Raza's court. That's how we always do it right here, right? On Chicano Street. Don't forget to hit that pinche like, cabrones. All right? Do me a favor, hit that like. That's all I ask, way. I had brought it up that Cholo Juan had mentioned on a post, and he said, He said, I'm gonna put it up. I'm gonna put it up right now. Let me take the call first, and then I'll put this up on the screen. Don't trip. I won't forget, cabrones. You want to hear about Cholo
press
Juan?
1. To send a voicemail,
Mikey.
press 2.
Watch, you guys are gonna remind me in the chat. Hey, Mikey, finish that thought on Cholo Juan, cabron. Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say?
Hey, what's up, Mike? Damn, you know what? That shit keeps happening, bro. Every time I call, I hear an echo.
Yeah, you don't have another browser or anything open with YouTube, right? It's just a phone call.
It's just my phone. I'm gonna experiment real quick, and I'm gonna turn off the.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to redial back, power it off, reboot it, call me back.
No. Let me see right now.
Órale.
Oh shit, I'm still hearing it. Can I turn off the?
If for sure it's on your end, I don't hear it. But I hear you loud and clear. And if I hear you clear, cabron, the people hear you clear. Do what you got to do, cabron. We're going to be taking calls, probably about maybe 2-3 minutes each call. So give me the points. Give them to me derechito, cabron. Let's talk about it.
You know, real quick, I was gonna say I was checking out that live and all that. My bad. Which one am I talking about? The fucking
the Cholo Juan?
Town Hall.
Oh, the Town Hall.
I was listening to it today as I was at work. It was cool. But I was gonna ask real quick, where do you see it going in the long term? All the town halls, like your long term, I guess, vision for it or goal.
I guess my long term goal for the town hall is that it gets to a platform position, its position within community, within social media, I guess, the internet communities, where the voice is big enough that they're going to want to run through us to be able to sit at a local city office, a local political office. They're going to want the people's endorsement. And so that's going to be automatically tied in because the town hall is it's just a show. It's a meeting of us, which is bigger, which Chicano Tube. I don't know if I'm going to make it its own LLC or nonprofit later, but it's really about just unifying the brown people and getting our voice out there. That's what it is.
I thought your Chicano Tube was already LLC or something like a trademark, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. The U.S. copy, what is it called? U.S. Copyright Office, all that. Yeah, that's just so cabrones don't sell T-shirts with that shit's name. The only thing I got LLC is the fight company.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. And again, the Chicano Tube is just like anyone that comes on the internet and starts a YouTube channel. All you got to do is give up your tax information so they can keep a tax record on you. And that's all that is. But again, when the numbers grow, we had the mayor of Salinas on it. We've already had 2 people, state assemblymen on the channel. So I believe that's where it's going to go, because in order for us to make change, cabron, we got to be with the big wigs.
Yeah.
Let me know about what do you think about the questions?
I wanted to ask.
The questions on the town hall or anything like that. Did you agree or disagree with anything real quick?
I'm kind of like, I wasn't really prepared to say much right now.
Órale.
I think I have like a bunch of other things I'm kind of in the middle of doing shit, but I guess I would say real quick, I think the people that spoke the best on there was, whether I agree with them or not, was the guy from Homie Hangout. I think Rascal. Is that his name?
That's right.
Miss Adina. And the guy who I think his name is Wayward Son.
Oh yeah, he has a very interesting point of view.
I think they spoke, like, Wayward Son was bringing up case studies from I think, what are they called when they're
50s, 60s.
When it's like shit from the court, you know what I mean? Like case examples.
Yep.
That was pretty legit. So Miss Adina also was talking about some specific examples as well. Rascal made a pretty good point somewhere in the middle when he was talking about, I can't recite him right now, but he backed his argument pretty well, I would say. Nino, man, I don't know about Nino, dog, because
Is it just the
I don't know.
views,
He's
but is it the views or is it the
like
personality?
he could like whatever he wants to like, but he backs it up on a lot of his own personal emotional opinion and stuff like that. You know what I
But
mean?
you think it's the views you're
mm.
against, or the personality, or what? What?
Probably most of all his approach. He takes a troll-like approach. You know, he does a lot of troll shit. You know what I mean? He could want whatever he wants politically, but
The getting up
I
in
don't
your
know. I guess that's
face,
kind of it,
and
dog. I don't.
getting up in your face, pointing the finger at you, maybe that kind of like energy, or
Yeah, I guess so. Even though it's on the internet.
órale.
Anyway, that was it, bro. I was just wanted more so to call and tell you about asking you about what your long-term goal was with that
Yeah.
thing. But whenever I got something to say, I'll prepare it and then I'll let you know.
Hey, I appreciate the call, Pete Dog. Hey, have a blessed weekend, cabrón, eh?
For sure. You too.
Ándale, cuídate. Pete Dog's in the casa, that's right, cabrón. And he calls me, asks me a question, right? And then I ask him a question, and he goes, "Oh, I'm kind of in the middle of things." Pinche Pete Dog. Nah, puras mamadas, man. Let's keep it pushing, man. The town hall clips. Let's go ahead and play a couple of those. Why not, man? Why not? Here we go. All right. Man, there were so many. So this is the town hall. This is when it cracked off.
The protest that I was at, there was an old school Mexicano. He had to have been about 80 years old, and he was holding up the sign, and he was thanking the youngsters. He says, "Thank you." He says, "Thank you, chaval." He had it in Spanish. "Thank you, chavalones, for speaking when we were too afraid to speak." And I looked at him holding up that sign, and I thought, you know what? When my father was here, not my grandfather, when my father was here, my lynched over 5,000 Mexicans here in the United States. Some of them burnt alive. In my grandfather's time, you could be lynched just for being our color, just for being our people. So I understood, because these aren't things that I read in a book. These are palabras given to me by my grandfather and my father. So I've heard their stories, because my father was here in the United States. He was 7 years old during Operation Wetback. My grandfather was 30 years old during the Mexican repatriation. The protest that I was at.
Damn. So, you know, when you come from a place of passion, it's understandable. It's understandable. And then I had Wayward Son in the square right next to Nino, you know what I mean? And they're right there in the square, you know what I mean? Maybe I should have moved the squares. No, not the creas, man. No, but a lot of people, you know, they hear him giving this history, right? And putting it out there for people to actually fact check. He doesn't want you to just take it from him. He doesn't want you to take it from him. He wants you to go and research it on your own. But again, at the end of the day, on this pinchy internet, we want to be more entertained than we want to be educated. I mean, let's just keep that a buck, right? And so when they hear his opinion, they don't even know that he's a veterano. He's a serviceman. He served this country. And he has a lineage that has history right here, father and grandfather. He's just so passionate about it. That grew up here. They seen some crazy shit. Again, the calentadas and all that. And then I knew Nino was coming from hey, we're going back to 100 years. We're going back to 500 years. The only thing I think might have been a misunderstanding was all he's really doing is citing history. If you notice Wayward Son never said, right now, I can't make money. He never said that. I never heard Wayward Son say, oh, right now I can't make feria. Never. So that's the only thing that when I heard Nino say, I say, well, I never heard him say that, but because Nino kind of was like victim mentality, which right here, we are against the victim mentality. The victim mentality is when you see the glass half empty all the time. The gallon of milk in the fridge, pinchy gallon of milk, is always half empty. The gas tank, the gas you got in your car, instead of being half full, It's half empty, cabrones. I mean, let's just keep that a buck. But anyways,
I'll kill you! Fuck these other vatos, Sensei! Get up, Chucky! Get up! You fuck with my familia, eh? You gotta answer to me here and now. Come on, toe to toe.
that's right, JT. Jonathan Tafoya, respects over to you, my boy. I appreciate you, cabron. There's another day one right there. He says, all was respects to Wayward Son. I put all of the social media handles in the description of the video. That way you can tap in with whoever. P-Dog just called in right now. Again, the lines are open if you want to say anything of anything of anything, okay? The line is open. But P-Dog mentioned, he kept saying, Miss Adina, Miss Adina. Hey, cabron, I was calling her that just out of respect. You know, so she's Adina, you know what I mean? And then you'll be able to see that on Instagram. She's Adina Flores, okay? I was just calling her Miss because, you know, it's not her IG name or anything like that. I just do that because it's just a formality, man. It's just, I'm still a gentleman, cabron. People like me still exist, we open doors. We take off our coats. You know, we do that kind of stuff, you know what I mean? Anyway, let's keep it pushing. Maybe we'll play another clip from the town hall. Let's go in the comment section, Eric AC. That's right, cabron. 1984 with the lámpara right there, man. What the people don't understand was the Mexican repatriation. I think he said partation, huh? He said repartation, but I think it's repatriation. Patria. That's what I think. The word patria is in there, right? Repatriación. Repatriation was the deporting of brown people, Native American. They spoke Spanish because the Spanish weren't here. I mean, I pretty much, I don't know if they were throwing trains of Native Americans along with the Mexicans. That's what I want to say. I don't want to get stuck in my thought and la chingada. I don't know if they were throwing natives, right? Native American. That I don't even think they like being called that. They're natives, right? I don't know. Maybe someone can call in and be like, Mikey, they were, you know, a lot of people that were thrown in there, even though they weren't dressed like Mexicanos. Was it the color? But as far as the last part goes, that or the first part, that I don't think he understood what the people don't understand. Maybe I'm misunderstanding your comment. Maybe you're trying to say this is how the criteria was for who they selected to jump and throw on those trains. That whole operation was carried out by the Border Patrol, the U.S. government. Okay, the Border Patrol did that whole operation. I just don't know the criteria, how they were throwing them on, but I have said this in the past. Gente, if the pinche güeros barely have a slice of bologna to eat on the table. I mean, you don't remember the película Cinderella Man? This dude is working 12-hour shifts on the dock. Was one of they would pick out 4 or 5 workers out of, I don't know how many, hundreds, at least dozens. I mean, I would say hundreds because it's the Depression. 3 or 4 got to work. The dude was working 12-hour days, had a slice of bologna for each of them. I know this sounds like a sad story. It's turning into a sad story from the Depression. Cálmense, cabrones.
Controlamos todo.
They all had a slice of bologna. He had worked 12 hours that day. His daughter was still hungry, cabrones. His daughter. The little girl looked like she was 6 years old. 6 to 8 years old, man. He gave his slice of bologna to the daughter. If the güeros were going to starve, they fucking looked at everyone like, no, get out. If we're starving, everyone got to get out. And as if you look at that as a black guy or whatever, it is what it is. It was what it was. They were starving and they threw everyone out of la chingada, right? The way you kind of deliver that is the way it's going to help your little, point, your talking point, however you want to. But the reality of the case was, if they were going to starve, fuck, no, they couldn't have anyone else in this country. They kicked everyone out, man. Back then when Wayward Son said the border wasn't even a line in the sand. Not even a line in the sand, gente. All right, let's go back to that. That was a good one. We'll read some of the chat right now. I know you got some of the questions. I want to hear Wayward Son first. No human is illegal. What do you think of that term?
Well, see, because that sign is no human is illegal, or there's no illegals on stolen land. Now, I agree with this brother down here because there's a lot of different opinions as to that. Now, if the Apache was to tell me that I should go back where I came from, if the Comanche was to tell me that I am not welcome here, if the Shoshone were to tell me that I should go back home, I would give more credence to them than I would the British or the Irish or the German who call themselves American or who claim these lands. This land is not built on life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. This country is built on gunpowder, plain and simple.
I want to hear 5 shotgun blasts full of gunpowder right there, cabrón. The Second Amendment. I'm a cuete guy, cabrones. Pops was a collector. A lot of the times, the house smelled like gun oil. I mean, we just walk in there, gun oil all the time. He was an enabler, though. Él daba parque. Nos daba parque. It was what it was. Rest in peace to Pops, man.
Hey, man. What's your name? Hey, where you from?
La Primera, Islos.
You talk like a fucking chicon, man.
So I got your point. Órale. Okay. I thought I understood it that way, but yeah. Natives and Mexicans. Is it just the skin color? Boom, he threw it up there. Again, it's Wayward Son, He does a little he did a video, cabrones. He fixes house. He's a builder. He's throwing up some sheetrock or something. He did a video, came back, 10,000 followers, 10,000 shares, 10,000 likes, todo eso. And all he was bringing was some historical truth that he has firsthand knowledge of. It wasn't a story. It's not a folk story or anything like that. Matter of fact, what I forgot to do, I just remembered right now. I forgot to connect Norbies with Wayward Son because I think they're from the same tribe. Man. We don't mind being called native. Yeah, because that's kind of like a universal term, right? Native to the land. Who was here first? And that's where this whole argument comes in, where stolen land. I get a little bit confused when people say stolen land because I'm not sure what they're referring to. Because there's so many memes and videos. Stolen land is Aztlán, which is the piece of Mexico that they lost during the Mexican-American War, or stolen land is the middle part of the continent of America because there was natives here, and before there was an America in the middle and Canada on top and Mexico on the bottom, on this portion of this continent, the natives were there in the middle. It's because there's some crazy shit, like even on YouTube, man. It'll tell you, hey, viniste de un chango. Y todos los changos vinieron acá on this land bridge, this barren ice land bridge, evolving as we swallow all that shit up, like without even thinking about it, right? Tus abuelos eran changos, güey. Darwin. Because Darwin said it. Who knows? That dude might have been a weirdo just on hallucinogenics. We don't even know. We got a school system that pretty much has been proven that they were just nitpicking what they were going to feed us. So the folk heroes, Paul Bunyan. Remember they used to have those white books? Who remembers being in school and they had those pinchy white books? They're kind of thick too. Paul Bunyan, Amelia Earhart, something like that. Wayward Son points out the fact that if some part of history is left out, you might as well question the rest. That's right, 1984. I appreciate you, cabrón. I said the gabachos did. I know, bro. I mean, it is. Bro, name me. Let me go back to that comment. The gabachos did it. And I'm not saying this is how you're living your life or your motto or none of that. My bad. But you know what I mean. You already know. I'm mejor eres Chicano, way. The gabachos did it. The gabachos did it. I don't know how much emphasis we should acknowledge, okay, there's institutions que todavía, yeah, there could be that, hey, out of 50 applications, most of them that get accepted son estos y los otros no. I mean, there's all that we could do. I just don't know how much we need to hang off that cliff. Or to me, it's not even a cliff. I mean, it's not even an issue I deal with. But then someone could look at me and be like, wow, Mikey, you know, well, you know, I'm glad you're in that situation. But the reality is this, like Wayward Son says, if we go to the border with two güeros with blue eyes, and here I am, well, I'm more like, you know, lighter skin and shit. Who are they going to ask for the papers? Are they going to ask it from them? Or they might as well just bring it up, man. Let me just play it. Stick out on Peachy Wayward Son. I want to hear Wayward Son first. Okay, hold on. What is this one though? Okay, that's what Nino said. Okay, we'll play what Nino said too. All right, in response.
Deeply involved. But here's the thing too. Now, when I'm out there protesting, I'm not protesting, oh, we should just open the borders and let everybody go each way. That's not what I'm protesting. The reason that I'm out there, the reason what I'm doing is that what criteria are they using to determine whether or not I'm illegal or not illegal, and the blonde-haired, blue-eyed person standing next to me is illegal or not illegal? What criteria, when they come up and they see me standing next to two blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, do you think they're going to ask them for their documentation, or are they going to ask me? They're going to come to me based on what criteria? Yes, they are deeply involved.
And if you didn't get most of the context there, first we're talking about the cartel. That a lot of people aren't talking about the negative that of the border. The sensationalism, the emotion that, oh my gosh, let everyone come in. That emotion only sees it one way. Only sees it, there's nothing wrong happening at the border. Nothing. Leave it absolutely wide open. And if you don't, we got a name for you. Starts with the R. Racista. Just, you know, I don't want to say too much in English. Next thing you know, boom, the stream goes down. Do me a favor, gente. Subscribe over to the backup channel just so we could not skip a beat, pick up where we left off. It's Chicano Street TV. Chicano Street TV. Already sent off the paperwork. Badass little logo, man. Shout out to Wicked, man. Wicked's getting down on the graphics, man. Shout out to Wicked Graphics. Subscribe over to the backup channel. That way we don't skip a beat. We'll pick up where we left off. And I also get when Nino was saying, you know, Nino saw that as like, well, you know, like the saying goes, why are you bringing up bullshit? I'll play you what he said. Let me see. I'll play you what he said. This is what Nino said.
You know, I'm not in this victim mindset. I look in the mirror and I blame myself for my mistakes that I made in my life. I don't look at the white man for holding me down. I don't look at big government to get any bigger. I want the government to basically just get out of my way and watch me work. And I've built many successful companies that way, and just by working hard and not blaming the white man or blaming any man for anything. I think a lot of people are just stuck in the past. They're very backwards in their thinking, and they want to sit there and just blame, you know, people from 100 to 500 years back for their problems that they have today. I don't do that. I'm in West Texas. These white oil men out here, and you know, everybody that works in the oil field, you know, we all come together to make this money. And man, there's some hardworking son of a guns out here. So I had to say this: I don't blame anybody, and I don't sit here and just point at history, because let's be honest, what can we really trust? But like I said, I just focus on the future and the present. And that's how I go about living my life, especially with in regards to having my family and providing the best life for my family in the greatest country in history, the USA.
Amen.
Good.
That.
You know, I'm not in.
That was in response to that. All right, let's go back to the comment section, cabrones. Again, the phone lines are open. If you got something to say, anything of anything, 831-240-4328. 831-240-4328. That's all you got to do right there. 1984 is in the casa. He says, we need to unite people of color and take over the legal way. Those of us that can. Hey, you reminded me of when Miklo gets out, right? He jumps in there with Crucito in that little van. He goes, yeah, you all over the world, a Latino world. I mean, I see what you're saying, cabron. And that's just what's talking. I think you're raza, right? I think you're Chicano, Mexicano. That's the pride, bro. That's the pride of La Bandera way. It's right here. It's a pride. It's when it's pumping through your blood, and no one's gonna take that out of you. You know what I mean? Now it may get less and less and less depending how many generations you are deep, into the United States culture or not. Because even if you're at the tail end of 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, I don't think you'd be that many generations, but you know what I mean? 4, 5, 6 generations, you can still study up on your culture and on your history, right? But anyways, let's go back to that. Just to remind the people, you don't have to take what I'm about to say next at face value, but just hear me out. Not everything brown is good for brown. I'm gonna say that again. Just hear me out, cabrones. If you want to take my head off, a la chingada, all right? You know what I mean?
What the fuck you kind of mad dog is it?
So you want to tell me right now, not everything brown is good for brown. We've been stuck in a cycle for decades that the way that we vote on the ballot is based on the last name. The cabron's last name, Lopez, or like my last name, Diaz, well, with the Z though. And because the other one is Brittany Thompson. And we don't want to vote for Brittany Thompson, but we'll vote for Alfredo Lopez, right? And they're making policies like in the last 4 years that caused the federal budget to be 40% over. This was under the last administration, Weekend at Bernie's. Get mad or not, or again, I don't hang off a cliff on a politician anyways. I'm just here to speak the facts. I'm going to let you know when the shit is good for the raza, the economy is good, they're buying houses, saving money, making moves, investing, paying off debt. And then I'm going to tell you when it's the opposite. Oh, shit. They're overspending 40% every single year, and there is no end in sight to that. I think what would have happened with another 4 years, because it was a copy and paste. It would have been a copy and paste 4 years. She wouldn't have lifted a finger. She's not intelligent enough. It would have been a copy and paste. Sooner or later, it would have led to them pardoning all of themselves. For the first time in history, we just had a president who pardoned his whole pinche familia, leaving the White House, and no one's talking about it like it's a bad thing. But Mikey, cálmase. But Mikey, he made me feel good though. Olivato says it'll never happen. We'll try to sacrifice each other. If you give the power back to the people, what are the people going to do? Yeah. Well, I mean, it don't make sense to get rid of law and order too. Someone said, well, the communities can police themselves. That time is done, man. I mean, that time, which was what, the 60s? The 60s? Let's give it to the 60s because that's when a lot of civil rights was happening. That time is done. The only thing we had to worry about back then was the calentadas from the güeros and their fucking nightsticks. But you could keep, other than that, I mean, it sounds gacho, right? It sounds gacho already, beat down by the pinche güeros. I get it, man. I fucking get it, man. Other than that, we can leave our doors or our houses open. We can leave our cars unlocked. We can, the neighbors looking out for my house, the other neighbors helping my mom with her groceries. It was more of a wholesome time. Don't forget that as well, because we don't just want to paint a picture that ain't. Okay, it was a more wholesome time as well. But give it all back to, especially right now, there's so much unruliness. Right now, I'm not even going to say the generation or whatever, just people don't have respect anymore. A lot. Not a lot of people. The respect is gone. They don't give a fuck. There's no limits. There's no nothing. That's sad. That'll even get to that. So again, that is kind of scary. Like, you really want it to be like that? Yeah, bruh. No, just kidding.
Life's a risk, carnal.
1984, that's right. Let's talk about the cartel. Terrorism. Do you think the USA is going to attack Mexico, cabrón? No. Absolutely. Just imagine diplomacy. Wait, come on. There's something called diplomacy, which all the United Nations know. Hey, let's just have this upfront common respect for each other,
caller.
right? But there has been countries that have given the middle finger to that and have gone, there's submarines in our water. Their spies got busted in our country.
To accept, press 1.
And
to
I
send a
understand that
voicemail,
there's some countries
2.
que les vale, and they still do that. But that's only because we have a weak leader. If we didn't have a weak leader, they wouldn't be testing us like that. Caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say?
What's up, Mikey? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I appreciate the call. Hey, Feliz San Valentin.
I'm out here in LA County checking in, brother.
That's right. Check in. Tell me what you got to say. Anything about anything, cabron.
Well, I was hearing about you talking about us choosing the right party. A lot of us are just stuck on the Democratic or the Republican. They're not checking all other parties there is in the state or country.
Yeah, I said this
So
is what
a lot
I said.
of us get stuck up in
Go ahead.
being a Democrat and not knowing what their policies and stuff like that.
I agree. Or it'll be something that gets passed down, from our parents. And we get it from Univision. We get it from Telemundo. Now we get it even more. Now we get it from social media, which is a lot of people consume. That's why it's called a feed. It's feeding you every day. But if you don't do your own, this is all we could do, my brother. This is all we could do. I mean, the raza coming up with their own party and taking power, it's highly unlikely. It's highly unlikely. Let's keep it real. Some kind of independent movement like they started in the 60s that happen right now and take over power, it's highly unlikely. So what we have to do is seek out who is going to help us the most and align with that. It's a two-party system, whether we like it or not.
Well, that's why, brother, I say as a libertarian, I think of liberty first, which is freedom. I think of small government, stick our hands in our pockets while we're working real hard, and the right assembly, like we're doing.
That's right. Oh, you're cutting off, cabron.
So, gotta check you guys' parties. Make sure you guys are following the right ones. Don't follow people what they're doing. Do your own homework.
That's right, cabron. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, my boy. I'll let you know.
Ándale, cuídate mucho. God bless.
Thank you.
All right.
Love you, man.
Cuídate mucho. God bless. Bye.
Sorry, sir. Your call can't be completed.
Help! I've been deported. I'm in Tijuana. Javier, can you hear me? Estoy en Tijuana. Javier.
Jesús está en Tijuana. Madre Santa.
That was a good call. What the caller just said right now. He said, I'm a libertarian. I'm for liberty. Absolutely, man. I spoke with this about Norby's. You know, and Norby says he likes to come on the channel. You know, we shoot the shit. He feels like he can freely talk about like politics and other things, right? You know, and I told him, I said, look, wait, I said, voting for the party it's going to not even get 10% of the overall, right? Definitely not. I mean, the popular probably won't even, might show up in the popular, but I mean, that's like single digits, way lower single. But in the overall, though, just vote to get less than 10%. It's not going to move the needle. It's not going to move the needle. You had a party, which I didn't know anything about, man. In 2017, I started going down a little bit the political hole. I had time on my hand, and I was kicking my feet up on my desk one day, and I went to my laptop, and I said, difference between liberal and conservative. That's all I did. I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Didn't care about anything. I voted one time, I think, for Al Gore before this, and that was it. And then I said, okay. I said, but wait a second, man. The little boys in the bathrooms, Chale Street, man. And then all kinds of genders. I said, what the hell is this Chale Street? And then one of the biggest ones was take God out of everything. Imagine. I don't even know how anyone on the internet, or I mean, off on the internet, don't matter, how anyone could say, oh, yeah, that's what the raza would want to do. La raza mexicana, our parents, grandparents, depending on how many generations you are here, are going to say, yeah, take God out of everything. Who the fuck is going to agree with that, man? As much a prideful people that we are, every single rancho that I visited ever in Mexico, I said this a lot, the first 13 years, summers I spent in Mexico, every single rancho, every single rancheria tenía una iglesia católica right in the middle of it, man. That's where everyone went to worship. Again, we're not going to go down the rabbit hole. Okay, oh, man, idolatry in the Catholic Church. I get it, cabrones. Cálmase, okay? Just for right now. They all had that. For you to tell the raza, hey, take God out of everything. Effective immediately. Chinga tu madre. You want to know how to lose the raza's vote? Come out with that shit. But again, that, the little boys in the bathrooms, sex changes, chirujos running everything in the world. Look what 4 years of that got us. 40% overspending every single year. And then the president leaves, hey, before I go, I need a preemptive. I didn't do nothing wrong. I didn't do nothing. And my family on this pardon, they didn't do nothing wrong. Absolutely. We have nothing to hide. But I want to pardon my whole family before we go. And I'm out. He dropped the mic, and motherfuckers will still share memes that he's a fucking hero. What's going on, man? That's right, Mikey. I appreciate you, my boy. What it looks like that party was a doorstep. Damn. We don't want to keep going down that rabbit hole because then they're going to be like political tube. And I didn't say nothing from November 5th to January 20th. You know, how many days is that? December 5th, January 5th. That's 60 days. And another pinche 15 días, 75 days. But then some people will comment, political. You know what? I'd rather have a high-level conversation. I'd rather have a high-level conversation that at least is going to affect something that's going to affect me and you. Hopefully for the positive. And hopefully it's a little bit entertaining over here. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's a little bit entertaining. Then what? What are we going to talk about? Like these tough guys on the internet and all that shit with the tank tops off and all blasted up and all that. Look, you guys send me some clips. This is what I said, man. I'm not going to keep... caller. Is not 2024, 2023. We're not going to keep going down the same, bringing up the same shit as far as what other people talk about on the channels and the bullshit. Hold on.
Fino, nada corriente.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail, press 2.
Órale, caller, you're live on Chicano Street. What you got to say, cabrón?
Hey, Chicano 2, this is Delfino.
Hey, Delfino, dale gas, man. I appreciate your call.
No, aquí estamos, man. We appreciate your show tonight. Listen, we're coming from the Northwest, Lakewood to be exact.
That's
Mira,
right.
man, I just want to ask you one thing, man, because I appreciate your show. I learned about you through Norby's. I have nothing but respect for you, brother. Y de lo que miro, you're talking about the real stuff. And I'll say, man, I lost a couple topics since you answered the phone, but I do want to say, the braceros, carnal, that's the thing that you touched on lately, and you were talking about that. You think that's going to happen again, and history's going to be, repeated, just as everybody says, basically.
Yeah, they say there's this universal law that history is bound to repeat itself. That's because nosotros humanos, way, I mean, we're going to be the way we're going to be until we're in the tumbas. Estamos en el pinche pozo en el suelo. Our tendencies are going to stay there. Us Christians know we have a human nature that we got to listen to the good voice and not the bad voice, right? So that's why they say history is going to repeat itself. The Braceros program, I don't think that's going to happen. Remember, the Braceros program was birthed out of post-World War II, where half of the güeros died, cabrón. They couldn't push the economy anymore in the United States. So the brazos, obviously, you know what the brazos are. They got the strongest, supposedly, los que brazudos, pinche vatos brazudos. And they got them over here. And what was supposed to be 2 years turned into like 22 years. So I don't know if there's going to be another labor contract with Mexico. But, man, I'd be happy if they just made a pathway to citizenship for the people that should be here, bro.
Yeah, indeed. That's what we all want, too, though. SOS.
Yeah, exactly.
Listen, I'm talking because, I'm from Stockton, California. Y desde from the beginning, bro, carnal, aquí yo también ahí estoy sembrado entre las fresas, you know what I'm saying? Right between the fields, brother, in Stockton, California.
That's right, cabrón. Hey, I always said the Central Valley, when like Salinas, right? We're like directly east of each other. It's almost like it looks the same. The Central Valley and Salinas and Monterey County, hasta las casas look the same, and hasta los vatos tienen el mismo estilo. Have you noticed that?
I noticed that. And you know one thing I noticed too, though? A lot of people that come out California from small towns.
Yeah.
Los más maduros, you rarely see them in the Midwest and the East Coast, bro. Casi no salimos allá because the good minds out here, it seems to be we restricted. We got to fight, bro. We got to fight. And we, for our word, for our voice,
that's right.
Man, I'm just saying, Stockton, California's out here, man, and surviving, eh?
That's right. Stockton's in the Casa de 209. They've been in the building since day one. Hey, I appreciate the call, cabrón. Hey, you have a good San Valentín.
Gracias.
And have a blessed weekend, cabrón.
Así es, man. Gracias, man. Keep it up, brother.
Ándale, cuídate mucho. Take care.
Bye.
Stockton 209, checking in the building. Let me see. Coming up at 4 o'clock. Let me see. An hour. We got an hour, 18 minutes. All right. We're going to keep this thing pushing, man. Let's go. He said, we weren't going anywhere. Es eso, cabrón.
Always going wrong, Richie.
Arturo Frias in the casa. Que tenemos los... So what they did do is they found all this government money that was going, how about sex changes in Guatemala? Paid for by the American people. Again, someone might say, yeah, Mikey, well, yeah, it ain't that much money, or because you might be like on a lower end of the tax bracket or something like that. I mean, to keep it a buck with you, the ballers, they don't get tax refunds. They pretty much fucking pay taxes every single year. But the mentality is not, oh, I don't want to do that because I don't want to pay the taxes. That's like a broke mentality. I don't want to do that because I don't want to pay those taxes. Motherfucker, you wouldn't even have that money if you didn't have the gift and the hustle presented to you. You wouldn't even have that. So don't ever turn away. Well, since I'm only going to make 70% and they're going to tax me 30, I'd rather make 0. How does that make sense? Superman's in the casa. That's right. I appreciate you tuning in to Chicano Street, cabron. Do me a favor, cabrones. Hit that like. The phone lines are open. We're coming up on an hour and 20 minutes. We're going to keep it pushing, keep it going past the 4 o'clock hour. Tonight is date night, cabrones. So that's why we're getting to live right now. Anything you want to get off your chest, anything about anything. You know what I mean? Aquí, we don't duck and dodge. Nada. You want to give a call, you can go ahead and give a call. I'm also going to try to read some of the comments right now. He said he did some of the most gangster shit ever, man. He gave himself a free, like on Monopoly, huh? That's crazy shit, huh? Again, it's because of that, that adds to the stigma of, wow, you know, every politician is lo mismo. They're all vendidos. Well, I mean, I'm never going to put my hand in the fire for a politician, you know. That's like me putting a hand in the fire for someone on the pinchy internet. That I know on the internet, the fuck am I going to put my hand in the fire? I'll put my hand in the fire for my family, for my beautiful, smoking, sexy hot wife, for my children. But am I going to put my hand in the fire for a politician or someone on the internet? Chale. That ain't going to happen. All right, let's keep pushing. The Gabacho liberal uses to push their bullshit by getting us in our feelings. What's crazy was, you know who was the first one to say that? One of the first. I don't want to say I know. I wasn't even alive during that time period, but Malcolm X. There's a clip of Malcolm X that liberals wouldn't want to hear. They wouldn't want to hear. And again, not political too, but we do speak politics. I was talking about hood stocks. I think it was yesterday or the day before. He said that he wanted all the victim mentality people to leave and unsubscribe and don't follow him no more. And he ended up posting like two t-shirts, right? And it said, I love Trump. It said, one of them said, I love Trump. And the other one, I don't even remember what it said, but it was something, again, let's just say it's something Republican. Okay, something Republican. But he doesn't give a shit because he's a blue-collar worker. The blue-collar workers, as soon as November 5th happening, the same week, I had a buddy. I'm not going to blast you, say your name. His son's a pro boxer. Shout out to him in the 831. He's already posting that they're already buying them barbecue food. They're already anticipating the tax cuts, the economy to be stimulated, jobs coming back. All of this is a ripple effect, just basic economics 101. We need American jobs in America given to our people here that are here locally because they're going to reinvest it in our economy. We need a cut. We need oversight on all the mismanagement of government spending. So we need to cut a lot of money, close the Department of Education, close the el otro que se dice WHO. I don't want to say it in English. They might cut the stream because Dr. Fucci, same thing. You got advice from an MD that got a presidential pardon for the advice he gave you. I don't even know if I should say that again. That was a slap in the face.
Controlamos todo.
La hazard controlamos todo. That's right, cabrón. That's right. Rest in peace. Oh, that's right, man. Okay. Rest in peace, man. Right there. I appreciate you for tapping in, though. West Sacra. Oh, okay. He was from West Sacra. That's right. I appreciate you, Diablo. Se les sacó la tierra, güey. I'm telling you. We're like in a famine, like in one of the plagues on Moses in the books. You know what I mean? In the Torah. One of the plagues. He's going to send this. He's going to send, let my people go. He ain't letting them go. Hasta the famine, where the ground is so dry, it cracks. Está cabrón, man. And at the same time, they hated on Joseph. 11 brothers threw him in the pit, hating on him. And what they thought was their emotion, hating on their brother, put Joseph in the position to save their families from that famine. That was a trip, man. Just know sometimes when you complain where you're at, it might be where God needs you at. But only if you're flying derecho way. If you're not flying derecho, you know, then the fucking handcuffs are coming no matter what. You know what I mean? My Mikey L says, we need to give amnesty to the gente that was here pre-Biden. Post-Biden have to go. I don't know. Well, okay, I respect it, cabron. I respect it. What I was going to say is, I don't know how long that list is of people that are in line for immigration, bro. Papers. They had to shut down the app at the border that was letting people without papers crossway. They were content with just saying, well, we don't know who you are, but just put a name right here and you can get a pass to cross the border on the app. They fucking cut that shit down. I don't know how true those videos are that are circulating right now. They're saying the border's empty. San Isidro. And I haven't seen the Mexicali one, but the San Isidro border's empty. And I don't know how true it is because we know they're using the television to kind of, look what it's called. It's called television. That should already tell you everything. It's telling you a vision. It just depends who's behind the buttons on how they want you to see it, right? That motherfucker's the roast racist motherfucker. Really? I don't know. I never met the dude. I can't call it. How about that? Brett Martinez in the casa with the United Farm Workers flag. Someone asked me the other day, hey, Mikey, you ever had a United Farm Workers or a Huelga bird flag? No, I never had one. I never had one. And of course, it's because they tie it to the barrios and a lot of stuff like that, which that's why people would ask, hey, or they see them flying in certain cities, right? Mostly north of Bakersfield and shit. But I never had one. I never had a United Farm Workers. One thing we did have here, though, in Salinas, we got a lot of rich history with the farm workers, cabron. We're one of the few cities that had a UFW headquarters. It was right off of Alisal on Wood Street. My buddy now, Juan, has one of the biggest tax services right there. It's called Navarro's Tax Service. There's a free plug for El Compa Juan. He has one of the huge ones, and he helps the raza out. Let me tell you, he also grabs that money that you give him because he's so blessed. He's blessed. Let's just say that. He reinvests. He gives to the community, the food drives, the food banks, blankets when it's cold outside, turkeys when it's Thanksgiving, back to school when it needs to, I can get involved with so many people because there's so many people that I know that do shit like that, man. They do shit and they keep me in the loop. I appreciate them. They tag me, they think about me, they at me on the IG. It's good shit, man. The climate is different. It's definitely a different way, but it's crazy because now they'll use the internet, bro, to even go after you. They'll weaponize that. Boom. One thing is if you brought it on yourself. Another thing is if you're part of what I call now the Pee-wee Chavala culture. Pee-wee Chavala is the people that just, fuck it. All of them say, let's go in on him. Fuck it. And let's get everyone to go in on him. If they had it coming, they had it coming. I understand that. Okay, I'm not saying that, you know what I mean? But to try to cancel someone on the internet, that ain't cool, man. How do you know that person's not feeding their baby with whatever their hustle is, Again, when a pendejo has it coming, he has it coming 100 different ways. 100 different ways. Cancel that motherfucker. Remove him off the YouTube yarda immediately. Fuck all that. Wasn't the Bracero program a direct response to the UFW? To undermine the union, not that whites were economically hungry. You're right. It could just be that's how it was presented to us, huh? How do we know? Just from seeing a YouTube video and the captions say this and all that. Maybe asking someone, well, I had Wayward Son. That'd be a great question for Wayward Son. Because his father was part of that program, I think. He said it. He said it in the clips. We can go play a couple more clips. Let's play another one, cabron.
Yes, they are deeply involved. But here's the thing, too. Now, when I'm out there protesting, I'm not protesting, we should just open the borders and let everybody go each way. That's not what I'm protesting. The reason that I'm out there, the reason what I'm doing is that what criteria are they using to determine whether or not I'm illegal or not illegal, and the blonde-haired, blue-eyed person standing next to me is illegal or not illegal? What criteria, when they come up and they see me standing next to two blonde-haired, blue-eyed people, do you think they're going to ask them for their documentation, or are they going to ask me? They're gonna come to me.
They're gonna come to me based on my skin color. My bad. I cut off a couple seconds earlier. Let's talk about stop and frisk. Let's talk about stop and frisk for a second, man. Hey, hit that like. I appreciate all the chat that's in there, man. All you guys' comments. I'm gonna try to get to all the comments. I already finished my pinchy bottle of water. Let's talk about stop and frisk. Let's look at this objectively. We always try to, cabrón. I know it's easy to say, fuck it. Univision said this. Jorge Ramos said that. Let's look at it objectively. Is stop and frisk good thing or is it a bad thing? Because let's say they're stopping, right? Let's say people are getting profiled on stop and frisk. Absolutely. How are they getting profiled? They're looking at the cholos, cabrones. They're looking at, like what I say, Chicano rap is, bald head lokes. They're looking at, bald head lokes. They're looking at skin color. Say they do that shit. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, let's just say that does happen, right? Okay. And let's say the people that are doing that, though, are just the bad apples. They know ethically they're not supposed to do that. They take an oath. I'm pretty sure when you become an officer, a peace officer, that's what they call them, right? They take an oath. Ethically, you're not supposed to do that. But let's just say there's always bad apples everywhere. Just like there's corruptos everywhere, liars, etc., right? Not everyone, but the demographic is being represented. They're there, right? Sprinkled out. And let's say there's 10 of them, 10 cops, 10 police officers, right? So one of them, maybe two. I'm thinking this would be the ratio. I actually want to believe most officers are trying to work hard and go home and provide a better life for the families. I actually believe that. But some of the stories, like with Wayward Son brings up, some of these things that are true, I don't know. I've yet to hear him say something untrue, man. Now that I think about it, I'm thinking it over in my head. I'm like, what has he said that's not true, right? And that's debatable. That's arguable. Is that right? Is it wrong? Let's say somehow some fucking body cam, right? Some body cams. They all got body cams now, right? It's 2025. Let's say the dude gets sued because he got 9, 10 bald head loke guys and he just jammed them up. He pulled out of the fucking car. Didn't need a he just saw the high socks on the cabrones all the way up to the pinchy knees. Pulled them over. And let's say he'd say all of them had blammers. All of them had blowers. All of them were on parole. All of them were dirty. Is the stop and frisk at that point, is it effective or is it not effective? Makes you think. It makes you think. You got to kind of think about it, right? Well, it's violating our rights. But then again, it looks like they're going only to the gangsters, the cholo, the people that are asking for it. I guess you could say they're asking for it, right? I'm not saying cholos because the way they dress, Nike Cortez and all that. No, absolutely not. Because that is a bad thing. You don't want to say, you don't want to tie shit, Now we're in the age where we shouldn't be reading a book by the cover. Motherfucker has a Charlie Brown. He might be a good dude and just likes to wear a Charlie Brown, or he wears a Hush Puppy, or I mean, it's easy to kind of sense who's not and who is. It's all energy, anyways, at the end of the day. But is stop and frisk bad at that point? Well, Mikey, no. Okay. If not, then those 5, 6 dudes that got caught with blowers would still be on the street. Maybe one of those bullets would be like a couple years ago in Salinas when a stray bullet flew in a backyard and hit a 6-year-old kid wearing Spider-Man pajamas. That's why I believe the homie Hangout was talking about you got to get your emotion out of it. I can't talk with someone that's just You need to go to the boxing gym, man. You need to go throw chingazos. Get that shit out of your system, man. Got too much bottled up, cabron. Take a vacation, man. Go to Cabo. Who's the guy in the video? I think is you're talking about Wayward Son, and he's not on IG, Facebook, YouTube. He's only on TikTok. He did a little TikTok. He almost has 200,000 followers in just a couple months. And all he does is not all he does. I don't want to say that, but man, every time I spoke, like when he said most of the raza got European last names blasted on their back, I was like, chingado, man, that's crazy. Slave owners, last names on our backs blasted and all kinds of shit. So that, I don't want to, that Chicano comes out. I shouldn't curse that much, but, it's not SHIT. It's information. It's information. He goes off like that on some videos, and I'm like, damn, man. And I think when Nino America was, Nino, I got a shout out to Nino America. He put on that, he was acting like a straight professional, huh? He did get off 2-3 times, and then was put on that professional cape. You know what I mean? Like, you know what? We're going to hear people out, let people talk to when I'm talked to, interject when needed or asked. And shout out to him, man. That was a professional role. And they were right next to each other, opposing views. And on the Chicano Wood Squares, they were right next to each other, Everyone would have talked shit, though. If I would have drugged the square, you know what I mean? They would have clipped that shit. Somehow they would have clipped that. I don't know. But let's go back to it. Stop and frisk bad if their conversion ratio of who they're arresting is over 90%. Think about that. Would that be a bad thing? I don't know. Let's keep it pushing. Jenny Selva says, my father came over through the Bracero program. That's right, amiga. I appreciate you. He says Cesar Chavez had a problem with Mexicans taking American jobs. That's what he did, because he knew that they would lowball the people without papers. Lowball the people without papers. And on top of that, now it's, again, the cheap labor market. If you're the property owner, if you're the company owner, right? Here's the contract. $8 million. Payroll is this. Income expense is this. Taxes is this. Insurance is this, etc. The labor is this. Oh, but wait a second. We don't got to pay the $400,000 or $500,000 of the salaries. We got some workers out of Mexico. They'll do it for less than half. That's what Cesar Chavez was against. Him saying the W word, that sounds bad, man. That fucking sounds bad. But then I want to say this, and I'm not saying I'm for it, I'm against it. I'm a realist, man. Then I want to say this. First off, throw the stone. He that has, no sin, throw the first stone. What I mean to say is, a lot of us grew up in those kind of environments. I was one of them. And one of those environments where they're saying shit. They're saying derogatory names. Of course, there's racial slurs being said. And I realized that was straight programming, bro. Straight programming. I never had anything about another race, because the most people that I had back then when I was programmed and brainwashed a problem with were brown people. I had a problem with brown people, 100%. And it was, it's crazy, because even when all the American Me stuff and all that, and then all of a sudden there was a different color up here, in Northern California. Before that, it was just our own. And I was like, man, if it would have just been that color, that would have been more simpler. But since it's like all this set tripping, that was the term back in the 90s. There was so much set tripping. It was funk season all the time, just walking down the street. But it was always against brown. I'm going to admit it. Well, Mikey, I don't know how it is to have any kind of hate in your heart, man, toward another race. Now, I will say this. Yes, to the youngsters. I've told them this. I'm coming up on 10 years now. This May. 10 years in the community, going to the correctional facilities. Wellington Smith, Monterey County Probation Department Youth Center. 10 years in May, man. What a trip. What a trip. Gracias a Dios. That's what the youngsters need to hear, man. This shit is chess, is not checkers. As soon as you get there, right now you could be hanging out and you could be talking dead homies, bruh. Dead homies, bruh. Dead homies. I had about 30 youngsters. I was coming out of Target on the north side, and they passed by in bicycles. I must have heard at least 20 dead homies and at least 30 bruhs. You're gonna find out it's chess, it's not checkers. It's a dirty game, you know. They're not gonna fly with that shit. They're not gonna fly with that shit. Anyway, let's keep it pushing. Whoa. All right. Michael says the majority of us have Spanish blood, whether we like it or not. Imagine me trying to deny my Spanish blood. That's a pinche vendido. Imagine me. I asked the Brown Berets when we had a panel, go back and watch it. I think it's when did we do it? Brother Anthony, Tina. I respect them. I respect their voices. I would love to have them come back to one of the town hall meetings. I asked them, I said, should Chicanos be embracing the indigenous side more or the Spanish side more or equal 50-50? Now, his answer was interesting. Trip out on this. His answer was interesting. He automatically, like, it was like, whoa, no, like muscle reflex, Brother Anthony. He automatically said, well, we don't lift up emphasize the Spanish side. And he said that without thinking, and I'm thinking, okay, it has to be hey, they came, they colonized, they conquered. But then it makes me think, what country hasn't been invaded? What country hasn't been had another ruler over it? And of course, what happens is the people go in and they intermingle, and then you have the razas the way it is now. You know, there's just the multiplication, and I mean, there's very few that are still 100% pure. I believe there is, pure-blooded, pure line, blood. How to say that? Yeah, pure-blooded people. Their lineage is pure. That's what I meant to say. Pure line. Orale. Thinking of líneas. So, just look at me, cabrón. I mean, look at me pinche cara, güey. I mean, look at el pinche bigote. I mean, you could pretty much call it Spanish tube, cabrón. No, but I do know my mother's mother. I just told this my wife already knew it, but she saw a picture one time and she was shocked. She was like, that's your mom's mom? My mom being güera with green eyes from Jalisco. Born in Jalisco, right? San Jose de Gracia, to be exact. But her mom being looking 100% indigenous, 100%, 1,000%, right? 4 feet tall, beautiful piel morena, beautiful long trenzas, like almost hitting the floor. So I know that blood's in me. But when I asked that question, I guess I was just, I ask questions that I think people would want to hear. That's what I do, even in the town halls, right? Questions I think people want discussed. So I'm not going to deny that. Absolutely not, man. Absolutely not, I got to cover up the chest. I was thinking of doing half of it Spanish, half of it Aztec, but then I thought that might be too long. So now I'm thinking voy a poner nomás just an eagle or something, just to cover up. It's going to connect down here to what's left off. It's going to be an eagle. It's going to go under the chest, an eagle in the middle, and everything else is just going to be shaded in. And it's going to cover it up. And finally, I could take the shirt off, cabrones. Because imagine being the only cabron on the boat. Everyone else is in shape. It's the summer, and they're in shape. And of course, they're going to peel the shirt, right? But when you have political tattoos, this is what I tell the youngsters. You might want to think about it. When you have political tattoos, I guess it was what it was in the moment, but we don't really think 30 years ahead, 40 years ahead, 50 years ahead, even 20 years ahead. Me, it was 20-something, and then the light went on.
Now you home with us and defend the barrio. Vatos locos forever. Forever.
I want to read this comment. This is interesting. Rasafu, how much money do you think the new administration has saved us? Oh, after deporting? Oh, I don't know. Deporting. I thought you were going to say the Doge, that department. Honest question. I don't mean anything negative. Hey, bro, this is Chicano Street, bro. Come on. No one is blocked. Everyone has a voice. There's freedom of speech. That's it, period. I even tell the wrenches, hey, calmala. Those wrenches have just been here since day -1,000. From the ground up. They even remember the old channel and all that shit. But don't get it twisted away. Everyone has a voice. There's nothing negative. Whatever you ask, bro, just ask it. You know what I mean? I got thick skin anyways. Even if they come after me, I tell the wrenches, hey, calmala. You know what I mean? They always want to grab the dude like fucking Miklo and hang him off the tira. What? Throw me. Pull him up, cabron. Let me talk to him. I got that Montana mentality, right? So I don't know about the illegal part, bro, but I do know there's an estimated that's already over $100 billion. The deficit is trillions way. So when you juxtapose those two numbers, it's a dent, but shit, it's barely a dent. You know what I mean? It's like barely a dent because it might be $3 to $4 trillion. $1 trillion is hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars over and over and over, at least 3, possibly 4. I think they saved over 100 billion already. So what people don't understand is it's gonna come back to America, man. It's just stop it. We're already over. It's not gonna, that money that they're saving is not coming in our wallets. The tax cuts and all that going forward, that's what's gonna help our wallets. But we just have to stop being unsustainable, bro. $20 million for condoms for Gaza. And then there was not Gaza, somewhere in Africa. And then there was a video made that if the U.S. doesn't send those $20 million for condoms, people are going to die. I don't know, man. I don't know. Is America supposed to just pay for everything, bro? Fuck. Send it to America, bro. They'll pay the bill. That's right, Gnarly Vato. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you, cabron. Going back to bad apples, spoiling the bunch. Remember, Chris? Oh, shit, man. There's bad apples, man. There's bad apples that, yeah. And then, of course, so anything in an isolated case or situation can be gaslighted, right? You know what I mean? It's like, this cabron did this, and he's a gavacho, you know, and he's Wichita Police Department. Like, no one even knows what the fuck police department he belongs to or whatever, right? And what I say is wrong is then they throw a jacket. See, what they try to do is grab one person and throw it on a net of people. I think that's wrong because when they look at the people that like the young ladies, okay, there's a lot of people that pass away, but let's just talk about this demographic. The young ladies that were unalived by undocumented people. You know that Republicans love that shit. Not love that they would want someone to pass away. That's morbid. That's gross. That's a piece of shit. That's a piece of shit, right? But what I'm saying is political points. Just like Democrats love the border. You can kind of attach these things to certain political parties. As long as you're aware of it, then just know these cabrones are trying to tap into some emotions, some sensationalism. You can't even think with a level head. You're already so fucking mad before you get on the phone to call me. You got some shit to take out with me, but you don't want to have an honest conversation on how this practically is going to affect the raza. Instead, we're looking at it through red glasses. It's funny because I had those at one point. You know, back in then, you could buy glasses. Everything is red. Everything is yellow, everything like that. I remember the red ones. I'm like, oh, shit, everything is red. It's like I'm on the cover of Damu Riders. You know what I mean? It's a Damu world. It's a Damu world. Orale. That's right. New Mexico's right here. That's right. I appreciate you. Don Fierro, dale gas, cabrón. That's right. Niners. Nothing finer, cabrón. You already know what it is, cabrón. Jenny, that's right. You know, that's right. More San Juan, you know. San Juan is there's a city. Well, that's in the county next to us. We have another county that we connect to is San Benito way. It's called San Benito. A lot of people didn't know this. Did you know? I'm gonna say, and he doesn't like when I say. He doesn't even like to mention it, cabrón. But I like to mention it. I like it. He doesn't get mad when I do. Well, he doesn't see YouTube anyways. Oh, I'm just kidding. I didn't know I was doing a live with Wayward Son, gente. I got Wayward Son, and it's already like the second or third time he's been on the channel. He's one of those OGs that despite political views or whatever, he understands the mission. The mission is to voice your voice. The mission is to get your voice heard. I didn't know that his great grandfather, I believe it's two greats. His great, and I could be wrong, maybe it's one great grandfather is none other than the Mexican president Benito Juarez. None other. And he told me on the live that he's only said it like one time on his channel. Maybe two times on his channel. Because he doesn't want that like, oh, they're attaching it to him. And he doesn't want to feel like that's a reason why people would gravitate toward him. I guess I'm not trying to put words in his mouth, but respectfully, right? But damn, imagine having a president. Shit, when he said that, I took a shot, man. I took a shot. I feel like taking a shot right now. If you give me 10 ones, I'll take a shot, man. Give me 10 ones. All right, gente. That's right. Julio Sosa is in the casa. That's right, my boy. I appreciate you. 10 ones. Oh, shit, man. Look at this shot glass, gente. Made in Mexico. If you could see the details, un pinche gordito borracho. He has the pisto sitting on his stomach. It says Me Vale Madre on top. It says Mexico Caballo made in Mexico. You should see the detail on this shit, man. It's crazy. We got some of the best craftsmen in the world, man. In the world. Hold on, let me text. I gotta text little Mikey. My bad. Hold on, gente. All right. I'm gonna take a Bluetooth phone calls. We'll stop the phone calls, gente. I'm gonna take the shot, and then it's Valentine's cover on this. 1942 kick in, cabron. That's right. Don Julio. Shout out to Don Julio, man. I imagine you know what? There's some people, they don't even look like they have money in Mexico. They look poorer than poor, wearing overalls, huaraches, una straw hat, gorra. They don't give a shit about attention or nothing. But you know how many racks they have? Some people just don't show it. Salud. Happy Dia de San Valentin. That's going to add to the fire right there. All right. What are we talking about? Where do we leave off? Oh, man. I know about the Franciscans. Yeah, it's crazy because some people, that's the reason they bring it up, bro. Some people say that the cross represents muerte because every time their people saw the cross, there was a slaying, there was a village that died, there was a village that was slain. That's why they say the stories of Thanksgiving that, they came to shore, made a pavo, made some stuffing, made some cornbread, shook hands, and that was a great American story. And other people say they came and they blitzed the people, ravaging and taking the land. And then soon than later came up with the title and deed system. And I've seen this clip on social media that said it was just two güeros sitting at the table. There was like a train. You seen this clip? There's like a train behind them. There's two güeros, and there's a native guy, right? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to offer you about 10% of the land. Nice place, cozy place where you can go be with your family, have everything that you want and need. And then the native guy, hold on. And then the native guy goes, how are you going to give us our land? Oh. Ponle Mike salud. Hey, happy San Valentin, cabron. That's right, cabron. I'll be in Monterey tonight, cabron. Date night. That's why we're doing this early live right here. Anything you guys want to talk about, drop it right there in the comment section. We were showing some town hall clips, cabron. Just shooting the shit. You know what we do here, cabron. We're live on Chicano Street right here, cabron. If you're new to the channel, I appreciate you for subbing. Let me give you a little overview. Basically, of course, we're West Coast content creators over here in California. And of course, the brown, usually they attach us all to each other. So anyone that's of color, you know, they call us either the Chicano genre, they call us the YouTube yarda. It is what it is, but I appreciate you guys for tapping in, man. Gracias, man. I hope it's been informative and entertaining. Let's read some more comments because I just took the shot. It's just kicking in right now, cabron. Michael, this Sunday is the deer dance. Oh, okay, órale. You know what? Si se puede say something about doing a sweat lodge thing. And I told them, man, the closest I ever been to a sweat lodge was the natives. They used to let the natives in Salinas Valley, they used to let them do the sweat lodge stuff, man. And you know, the natives, they look like natives. There was not like, hey, is that dude, you know, he's a weirdo, or, you know, no Elizabeth Warrens or nothing like that, right? All of them look like fucking natives. You could just tell, you know what I mean? Skin color, how they had their hair, and even, of course, they would adorn themselves, you know what I mean, with the necklaces and however they got down. That's the closest I ever been to one. That's not a bad thing. I've been in a lot of weight cuts. I did 10 years of weight cuts. The most I ever cut, 12 pounds. I cut 12 pounds in 36 hours. You know what I mean? Was hurting on the scale, but not shutting down. Not that hurting. Not that hurting. I was hurting on the scale though. So it wouldn't be a bad thing. Sweat it out, pores. I think, what do they burn, man? Is it coal? Is it wood? Is it fire? I don't know what they burn in there, but Si Se Puede was like, damn, it makes you feel some emotions. I'm like, shit. It reminded me of the hot chip challenge. When I took that, cabron, that shit made me go through emotions, man.
Thinking of letting him in, ese?
Told you he was my best crime partner.
He ain't Mexican, ese?
Hey, that's right, Corto. I'm going to be in Monterey, bro. I'm going to be over there on Fisherman's Wharf, cabron. You know what I mean? I want to be over there because, to me, the views are everything, bro. I like views, you know what I mean? I like just sitting somewhere and the ocean's right there, hearing the ocean waves and eating dinner. So I'll be over there. Primeramente Dios. Nothing's promised. Be the fucking last podcast, and then it's a wrap for me. And if it is, we went out with the bang, cabron, with a shot of Don Julio speaking the truth. It always was the truth on this channel. It always was. Mac Ryan, 2 palm trees. That's right. He's ice cold, cabron. I know they're there. I think it is a gacho move to make memes and have the Vanilla Ice song, Ice Ice Baby. I think that is a gacho one, man. That's a gacho one. Actually, you know what? I don't even know if I can do it right now. Let me see if I can do it. I actually saw, let me lower the volume. Let me see. Enter studio. I said, whoa. I saw a remix of the Kendrick Lamar song, and I said, this one I could fuck with. Hold on. Okay, so. All right. Okay, so let me upload this video. I think I could do it while I'm live too. Let me see. And you're gonna be like, oh yeah, this shit is. Or you tell me, it's popping or not. All right, let me see. Oh, here it is. There's a DJ, so shout out to the DJ. All right, it's processing. Whack 100, the general. That's right. The blood general on the YouTube Yarda is in the house. That's right, cabron. He got the keys. So when I said Damus, it's always Whack. He's going to be the front runner. He's going to be the front face of everything. That's right, cabrones. Again, you guys, we shut down the phone lines because we're coming up on 5 o'clock and we're going to wrap this up because it's date night, all right? Let me just see if the video uploaded. Oh, yeah. All right, perfect. All right, now let me kick myself out of the studio.